The words good gacha game usually carry the exact same weight as healthy deep-fried butter. It's an absolute paradox. We expect low-effort slop, predatory mechanics designed to rob your wallet, or just generic anime waifu bait. But what if I told you there's a game out there that actively seems to despise your money? A game with a narrative so deep, it'll make a grown man weep. Yet its combat relies entirely on coin flips. Welcome to Limbus Company. Most gacha games give you a self-insert protagonist who is universally loved by everyone for doing absolutely nothing. Our main character? Dante, a complete train wreck whose head was surgically replaced with a clock, and by far the drippiest. Normally, getting the character you want requires sacrificing your child's college money to the RNG gods, straight to the credit card entry screen. But here, if the developers make a single typo in a patch note, they break down in tears and hand you premium currency, completely for free. Alright, let's look past the chaotic math and talk about the real masterpiece here, the story. Because this game doesn't treat you like a child. It is a brilliant psychological narrative, divided cleanly into episodic chapters called cantos. Each individual canto serves a brilliant dual purpose. And let's be entirely honest, they do not always have a happy ending. These characters are more than just an excuse to grab money from consumers. You're stuck with these 12 people for the entire journey. Their stories talk about incredibly heavy, mature themes. War trauma, overcoming a dark past, nihilism, and coming to terms with a brutal reality. Without giving away any major spoilers, these episodic chapters aren't about saving the world. They're deep character studies. Take Kanto 1, which isn't a generic prologue. It's a heavy exploration of psychological war trauma. Or Kanto 4, which handles themes of stagnation, depression, and learning how to step out of your own mind. The game forces you to watch these flawed people struggle with reality, making the tiny, hard-won moments of genuine healing mean absolutely everything. Because in the world of Limbus, nobody is coming to save you. Every single victory has a horrific body count. But that is exactly why the writing works. It doesn't give you cheap, happy endings. It makes you earn every single shred of hope. But masterpiece story doesn't mean a flawless video game. And the first major hurdle you're going to smash your head against is the absolute nightmare that is the user interface. It throws a wall of text, a dozen different submenus, and multiple confusing currencies right at your face without explaining a thing. And God forbid you try to play this on a mobile device, where the optimization is so rough, it routinely turns your phone into a literal stovetop. And then there's the combat tutorial, which explains almost nothing about how the actual game mechanics work, leaving you to just mash buttons and pray. You are forced to calculate skill-based values, coin modifiers, and sanity percentage flip rates, just to figure out if your character is going to hit the enemy or take massive damage. Which means you'll inevitably spend your first 10 hours locked on YouTube, desperately watching a 40-minute guide just to learn how to play. Yet, despite the rough edges, the confusing menus, and the learning curve, everything changes the second the music kicks in and a real boss fight begins. Because when Limbus Company fires on all cylinders, it delivers an experience that easily rivals the best modern RPGs on the market. It is a game that demands your patience, but fiercely rewards your time, standing as a dark sci-fi masterpiece disguised as a mobile game. For an unforgettable narrative journey that breaks every mobile game stereotype, I'm giving Limbus Company a solid 9.5 out of 10. But 9.5 rating isn't just for what is available right now. What truly elevates Limbus Company is that it is a living, breathing project. Project Moon's live service model doesn't just patch bugs. It actively expands the universe with massive seasonal updates, evolving roadmaps, and continuous story chapters that keep the community perpetually starving for the next drop. This level of community devotion didn't happen overnight. It stems directly from Project Moon's legacy as independent developers. Through previous masterpieces like Lobotomy Corporation and Library of Ruina, they built a massive, interconnected universe, and a rare bond of trust where fans will willingly fund their most insane creative risks. Because they don't treat you like a walking wallet, the gameplay loop shifts dramatically. Instead of a relentless daily grind locked behind arbitrary energy stamina, Your loop revolves around mirror dungeons, allowing you to directly farm ego shards to completely bypass the gacha pool and craft whatever meta character you want just by playing. Because when you aren't fighting a predatory gacha system, you are pouring that energy into actual strategy. You are refining your builds, selecting your team compositions, and pulling your customized squad into the game's ultimate in-game challenge. The Refracted Railway, a brutal gauntlet that tests every single mechanic you've learned. Here, your wallet won't save you. The Refracted Railway demands complete mastery over your skills, forcing you to perfectly map out your turn-by-turn clashes, align your sin resistances, and trigger precise absolute resonance chains. This is where that confusing, chaotic UI finally transforms into an incredibly rewarding tactical dashboard. And that is the true magic hidden behind Limbus Company's daunting walls. It doesn't just reward your brain with a shallow tactical victory. It seamlessly channels that hard-earned triumph directly back into its unforgettable, masterfully written dark sci-fi story. This isn't a generic good versus evil tale built to sell character banners. Project Moon crafts a narrative that dives headfirst into psychological trauma, corporate dystopia, and the deeply flawed nature of the human condition, giving every single sinner a beautifully tragic arc that pays homage to classical literature. Take a look at characters like Yi Sang, Faust, or Don Quixote. These aren't just names pulled from a hat. They're direct, avant-garde deconstructions of classic literature, reimagined as broken souls trapped in a cyberpunk nightmare. This structural layer gives their struggles a profound weight that standard mobile game tropes simply cannot match. But you can't fully appreciate these narrative peaks without talking about the music. Project Moon collaborates with a legendary indie band Mili to craft dynamic, lyrical boss themes that change their instruments and tempo based on the boss's health phase, turning these brutal battles into a literal interactive opera. When you combine this level of avant-garde art, profound storytelling, and brilliant music, something incredible happens to the audience. It transforms casual players into a fiercely devoted subculture, a community driven by inside jokes, massive content creation, and an unbreakable loyalty to Project Moon's uncompromising creative vision. Limbus Company proves that a live service mobile game doesn't have to choose between profitability and artistic integrity. Project Moon successfully built an experience where the gameplay loop actively respects your investment, and the microtransactions take a back seat to the actual narrative art. It completely defies the modern gaming industry's predatory standards. Instead of demanding your credit card to progress, it demands your attention, your strategy, and your emotional willingness to dive headfirst into a beautifully grim world. And that is why this confusing, chaotic, and relentlessly brutal game is nothing short of a masterpiece. It isn't just a game worth your time. It's an experience that sets a brand new standard for what mobile storytelling can achieve.